Today, House lawmakers called on airlines to make self-defense training mandatory for their flight crews. CNBC's Valerie Castro was able to experience one of those training sessions firsthand.
Flight attendants never know what sort of passenger they'll face. In this simulation, an armed hijacker trying to breach the cockpit. But lately, an unruly passenger, in this case demanding alcohol, is not that far-fetched.
The changes on board with people having to wear masks has caused a lot of anxiety.
When these flight attendants come out of this training, they walk away a lot more confident about their ability to handle a variety of situations.
Crew member self-defense training has seen renewed interest as the number of incidents has soared over the past year.
I'm not by nature a violent person. I've never been in this situation before. What do I do when that moment freezes you?
The training covers a variety of self-defense moves.
I'm trying to put this palm to go through his chest and come out his back.
I took part in this session and learned firsthand you can punch, kick, stomp, and even gouge out the eyes of your attacker. For some of my classmates, the skills seem to come very naturally. After learning the moves, the participants are put to the test inside this flight simulator, unaware of what's just around the corner or down the aisle.
I was thinking that this was for real, that those guys could try to hurt me.
Renee Elmore became a flight attendant in just the last 5 years. She often flies on smaller planes and sometimes is the only flight attendant on board. With this training, she now feels ready to face anyone at any time.
I just feel so much more empowered and more confident that I will be able to defend myself.
Some airlines stopped serving alcohol in hopes it would help the situation. Most have brought that service back, but American Airlines says there is no service in its main cabin until January. Southwest Airlines has no set date for bringing back the booze. Back to you,
Valerie Castro. Sarah Nelson joins me now, president of the Association of Flight Attendants, which represents about 50,000 flight attendants. Sarah, it's good to see you. I'm just curious your reaction. Do you think that the self-defense training should be mandatory?
Absolutely. We've been working on making this program mandatory since just after September 11th when it was created. And it needs to be provided in our regular training so that all flight attendants can receive it at their paid company training with oversight from the TSA. And there needs to be recurrent training as well, because as you saw in that video, you can be in a state of shock when you are presented with this, and you have to be able to respond in something that you're very trained to do with an immediate response. And that takes repetitive training. So this training is fantastic. I have been through it. It gives flight attendants confidence. It allows us to know how to stand. And it is specific to our workplace and the workplace that we work in to try to protect the cockpit, the other passengers, and ourselves.
When you look at this spike in Omicron variant across the nation, how much are you looking at this as a new stressor along with the crowded planes that we're seeing for the holiday season and thinking there's a reason to be concerned over the next couple weeks?
Well, it's really concerning because crew members are on the front lines and they are very likely to come in contact with Omicron, which also means that they may have to isolate and not be able to go to work. And that will put a stress and strain on staffing as well, which can also lead to operational disruptions. And that can also create high temperatures in the airport that lead to more disruptive passengers. So it all is very concerning to us, not only for our health, but also the conditions at work. And also, if this becomes just out of hand, that can have an economic impact on us as well.
And yesterday, we heard that Delta's CEO asked the CDC to roll back some of those quarantine requirements for breakthrough cases because staffing is a problem. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that is the wrong move, and it's the wrong message to send to the country at this time. The fact of the matter is that when flight attendants are testing negative and they feel better, they can get back to work. But what this may do is it may put flight attendants in a position of being forced to come back before they feel better. And that can raise tensions as well. Imagine someone coming back who's still coughing, who's still expressing symptoms. even if they're testing negative. So there's a real negative side to this, and we're not happy about Delta's move to ask for this, and we think it's the wrong way to go.
Sarah Nelson, we appreciate your time. Happy holidays.